go over to the side so you don't hit
I'll
the...
get on. Hi, how are you? Okay, so we're going to start over again so that we can see everybody. We hope you come join us. I'm really sorry for the confusion. We tried to do it differently so that this wouldn't be backwards, and in doing so, the whole thing didn't work right. So, hi, welcome to our second ever Facebook Live. Clearly, we're learning, and hopefully you all will join us. We're hoping that as you join us, you'll let us know where you're coming from. We're here in Longmont, Colorado. I'm Sheila.
And this is Walt.
Yes, hello. And so...
we're Team Livliga.
Yes, Team Livliga, and we're going to be all about cooking up some fun with some healthy recipes served up on Livliga with Sheila and Walt. And tonight we're really focusing on egg salads because we thought with the springtime, with summer coming up, we want some easier recipes, some things that are pretty easy to put together, as well as tasty and delectable, and maybe something we can fix ahead of time so that at our convenience we can get these good recipes going. And
this is all something you can pretty much do almost out of your... what you would normally have in your fridge.
I know, right? That's kind of how some of my recipes often is how they're developed, is because, you know, we're ready and we need to fix something, and we need to be able to have what's available in our icebox or refrigerator. Sorry, I dated myself. You know, to use for these great recipes. So one of the things I wanted to point out, people have asked, you know, what is Livliga? And so we thought tonight we would share with you what it means. What does Livliga mean?
So Livliga is Swedish, and it means lively, vibrant, or vivid. And how do you say Livliga?
Oh,
is it
somehow my husband came up with a good way to help us pronounce it.
So I always say, remember that movie called A League of Their Own. And if you think about a league of, say, Livliga. So a league of their own, Livliga.
Exactly. And of course, I focus on the first part of that, which is live. Because, you know, it's important that we all live well and that we do live lively and vibrant. And we figure if we're focusing on healthy lifestyle and healthy living, and Livliga is one of the tools that helps us do that, then we're going to be able to, you know, kind of enjoy life, have more energy, get to our bucket list, and, you know, basically have a lot more fun.
Right. And be vibrant and vivid while we're doing it.
Exactly. So welcome to our land of living vibrant. And so we wanted to kind of tell you some of the things that we've learned about cooking up eggs, making egg salad, and making it in a healthy way. Tonight we're going to focus on 3 different recipes. One is sort of the classic recipe, and it's pretty simple, and we have a summery egg salad as well as one that's with lox and capers. Pretty sexy, I'd say. So where do you find them? You're going to find them right on our blog, which is blog.livligahome.com. So if you want to follow along with us, please go to our blog and search for egg, and with that, you'll be able to come up with the recipes that we're using tonight. So again, it's the summery egg salad, it's the healthy egg salad, which is what I consider a classic egg salad, and then the one that has the lox and capers in it.
And hi, Linda from Florida. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Linda! So nice. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I think we've got some other friends out there. We want to really thank you for joining us, and we'll try and answer your questions along the way. And sorry we had to give in and be backward named. And maybe we'll just become known as the backward named, you know, healthy recipe people. So
backward.
So anyway, one of the first things I wanted to talk about is actually how you boil your eggs.
And this is the neatest thing. I mean, I have made hard-boiled eggs and peeled eggs really all my life, and Sheila has come up with the greatest...
Well, actually, I can't say I came up with it, but I discovered it because of a relationship. And so we want to tell that story. Oh, yeah, right. He really wants to know what I mean by that.
Wait.
So,
oh, look, somebody from Longmont. How about that?
Hi, Cynthia. So, one of the fun things that happens when we go to the International Home and Houseware Show is that we end up being able to meet people who are also entrepreneurs and inventors, because Livliga is our invention, and so we really enjoy meeting other people that have done that. And so we actually was able to meet somebody who had created a new fangled thing called the Neg, and I wanted to show you guys this.
What's it called?
It's called the Neg.
The Neg.
Yeah, and the thing that's really interesting is, do you guys ever bother to read the instructions when you buy a new product? I think a lot of us are guilty of not doing that. I happened to, because I was so excited about this Neg, to discover how to actually use it right. And one of the first things it says is that when you get your eggs out, that while your water is boiling, you turn them upside down. And you let them stay upside down while you wait for your water to boil before you put your eggs in the boiling water.
And so what that probably means is it takes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes for the water to boil. And so when that happens, the eggs, it's almost like they're pulling off the shell or pulling away from the membrane.
And maybe it's because the yolk is kind of centralizing in there.
Or just pulling down. I really think it just loosens it.
Okay, so you can use the Neg after you boil the egg, and it kind of makes it like, I don't know if any of you use jars when you're doing lots of garlic to get the garlic skin off the garlic to then be able to chop it. But it's really the same concept. Put a little water in this and do it. And so it does make it a little less messy in a way to do it that way. But I'm one of those people, I'm impatient, so I'd rather have my fingers moving and getting in there. And what I found is the magic is truly in the upside downness of putting the eggs, and that they peel really easily. So I think I found yet again. So Livliga was a solution for helping people with our visual cues, and this upside down egg technique actually finally makes peeling eggs a whole lot easier.
And so, I mean, Sheila did these earlier, but all of these eggs are perfectly peeled. None of the sort of, chunky pieces of white coming off. It really is great. I love it.
I don't know if you guys have the same problem, but
everybody does.
Everybody does.
Oh, yeah.
The problem really is that, when you're trying to take it out, you lose like 2/3 of the egg.
The question is always,
it's like sticking on.
Is the egg too old? Has it, was it fertilized? Do you need to put vinegar in the water? I mean, there are all these things.
I know. I've tried everything.
Right.
I've tried everything, and nothing has worked like this. So we just want to share that, because we figure the things that we've learned, we want to share with you guys. So while we're waiting for this to boil,
you have your eggs upside down.
I have the eggs upside down, and then Walt's going to put them in the water. So, and then the other trick is that with this method, 12 minutes is perfect.
Exactly, 12 periods.
So really, I used to do 10 minutes, and for some reason, and maybe also the altitude, we're in Colorado, so we're a little different than other people.
Right.
But actually, in those instructions that I bothered to read, it said that, it was good to do 12 minutes, and I really do find
and it's
that
not
works
overdone.
well.
You don't have the green around the yolk. I mean, it really is. It's perfect.
So do you think they're ready to put in yet? You think it's okay?
I think so. But
you don't think so? I mean, the water's boiling.
Yeah,
but do you think the eggs are ready?
Oh.
So, do you want to?
We're going to wait just a couple minutes.
Okay, all right. So, meanwhile, I thought we'd talk about some of the other recipes that we have, because really the pièce de résistance, the one that we want to focus our attention on tonight, is the lox and capers one. So I thought I'd start out by kind of walking us through the healthy egg salad, which is our classic, and then the Summery egg salad. And I don't know about you guys, but we have a very busy household. And with that busy...
Mary. Hi, Mary Kay.
So nice to have you guys on board. Thank you. But with egg salad, it's one of those things that truly, you can boil the eggs a couple of days ahead of time, for Pete's sake, whenever you have the chance to do it. And then you can actually really make the egg salad easily a day ahead of time, if that's helpful. And so I like that. The warmer it gets, the easier I want my meals to be, but I still want them to be visually attractive. I still want them to be tasty. And I still want to be able to gather folks around the table and have everyone enjoy it. So with the healthy egg salad, I also, more and more, you want things that you can make for 1 or 2 or 4 to 6 people. And so the recipe I have online for the healthy egg salad is just it's a one recipe thing. So like, for instance, for lunch, and you're someone like me who actually has my home office here, so I'll actually be able to make my egg salad here and have it ready,
lunch,
or start it at breakfast, get it ready at breakfast and then actually serve it up for a quick lunch later on. But, it's one of those things where I love celery. I'm one of those people, how many people love celery? I know. I think a lot of people have this opinion about celery.
But you taught me something about celery.
What have you taught me?
Well,
no. What have I taught you?
I
taught you.
You cut it in really, really, really small pieces. It's actually more flavorful.
That's it.
And I love it.
This is the trick. And see, he told you this, so you know it's got to be true. It's not just me telling you this.
Well, yeah, it is true.
It is true, isn't it?
It
and
is.
I experiment with things, and I think zucchini is kind of the same way. I think Nikki Massey, who's been one of those people, has turned me on to zucchini by zoodling it. But I also really love it in little tiny, it sweetens it. When you do, especially things that may not have been things that were your favorite vegetable.
Right.
When you chop them up little, it kind of makes them sweeter and fresher and crisper tasting. Yeah. And celery's that way too. And celery, by the way, are you aware of how wonderful celery
really
is for us? Not only is it because I think it's 85%, but it's got a lot of water in it, which is obviously very good for us. And in the summertime, we need a lot more sources of water. It's also really great for our hearts. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant. A friend of mine actually told me that she loved it because it actually helped her with her blood pressure.
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
It's a
diuretic, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly. So it's one of those wonder things that when we chop it up small, we're getting the celery in. It gives it a little crispy crunch. It's very plentiful in the summertime. You can go to the farmer's market and get it. And, the fresher it is, the yummier it is. Mm-hmm. So anyway, with our classic, we do use celery. I'm also, do you guys know about the California, do you want to put the eggs in?
Yeah, I was going to say, but I think for those of you who missed and came on late, Sheila has found the best way to peel hard-boiled eggs. And the trick is when you put your water on to start boiling, turn the carton upside down. And then by the time the water comes to boil, which ours is now, and you put the eggs in, when you peel them, exactly 12 minutes later, it's incredible.
After you run some cold water on it, because otherwise my little fingers, it doesn't work. But I just, wanted to talk about things like the California garlic powder. Do you all use that?
California style.
It's the California style. It has like parsley in it, and it's I really love it to add more so than plain old garlic powder. It doesn't clump as much. It really kind of integrates better into the food, I think. So I love that. So I use that when I'm adding that to my my various egg salads.
And so I'm setting the timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes. We're going to do it. Another thing that I add to just about everything, I am a Dijon mustard lover. And there are kind of camps, don't you think? There's the yellow mustard people and the Dijon mustard people.
And the hot spicy, I guess.
Yeah. And there is the hot spicy, the brown spicy.
Yeah, German style or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But what I found is with the Dijons, I love it because there is a little bit of a tang to it that I don't think the yellow mustard has. They're actually virtually the same in calories and in kind of, the various benefits that mustard seed might have and the mustard seed that's in these. It's
really touch of white wine is the Dijon.
It must be that. So anyway, I use, the grocery store available. There are so many different kinds out there. I don't know if you guys have your favorite. Hi, how are you from Ohio? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
But does anybody have opinion about Dijon versus yellow mustard? Because I want to hear it. I may not change my mind, but I'm open to hearing from you.
And Mai is the other, Maille.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. It's just so hard to find.
The Canadian version of Grey Poupon.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, anyway,
it's actually my favorite. It's just hard. It's Maille.
Right.
And the problem with that is it's hard to find. It's all the way, Mary Kay, all the way with Dijon. I agree with you. I agree with you. So anyway, very simple, very easy to make egg salad for lunch, and just put it on a bed of lettuce. You can slice up a tomato. I get the ones that are on the vine at the grocery store. I think they taste the best, and you can cut them up in quarters, put the egg salad right in the middle of it, and you really have a visually beautiful sort of treat yourself kind of lunch that's easy for you to have just by yourself. And it's easy to actually put together to take to work too. You know, I do the Ziploc, Tupperware things and take, get my stuff ready to go to the warehouse when I have lunch at the warehouse. So then for Summery, I'm one of those, we have an herb garden. Walter created some beautiful raised beds for us, and one of them is solely dedicated to herbs. And because I love them, and they can be in salads, they can be, so they're easy for creating salads, they're wonderful for adding fresh into literally everything. And it's fun to experiment, right?
When the tarragon comes back and the sage comes back. But what's always amazing to me is the parsley, which either reseeds itself or comes back. But we always have parsley.
I know. So I think he's bringing that up
because it was snowing this morning in Colorado. It's April 24th, but I knew outside we'd have fresh parsley.
I did buy some at the store, but then he said, we've got this outside. So he went outside and cut our fresh parsley out of our very own herb garden, and that seeded itself. So this is from last year. So we're super psyched. And of course, this, as we're serving up in Livliga, I want to point out we're going to feature Vivente today.
Now, what is Vivente?
Well, Vivente is kind of like lively, vibrant, and vivid in Italian,
well,
right?
Yeah, and it's also one of our patterns.
Oh, that! Oh, yes, exactly. Oh, you know what? It's one of the first ones we launched with.
Livliga in Swedish translates to...
You have to show them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Livliga,
with his backwards name,
in Swedish is Vivente in Italian. How about that?
So we just thought that because of the fact that it's so cheery, it's very joyous, because we imagined sitting in Tuscany in a vineyard, sipping wine, of course.
Under a pergola.
Under a little shade. We'd have our luscious luncheon or dinner on a beautiful plate that's artist design, because of course in Italy so many of their plates are artist design, and that we would have our Vivente, and it's one of the first patterns we actually launched with.
Yes. To
help people live healthy, vibrant lives, and that's what we're going to serve up on tonight. So we wanted to show you that.
Perfect.
And as we're boiling the eggs, we're also going to kind of move on to the Summery egg, and that one is
Bob just joined us. Hi, Bob. Thank you.
Hi. So nice to have you guys here. Thank you. So with the Summery egg salad, kind of one of the key things with that is I add lemon to it and lemon zest. How many of you guys use things like lemon zest? To me, the thing that's so cool, and I actually ran out of lemons because I think somehow I left them like in the cart or something at the grocery store. But you can also use orange zest.
Orange zest works just as well.
And the thing about it is you get these and you use the juice, but how often do we actually, of course you have to wash it before you do it with water, but grate it. And one of the things Walter gave me, because he supports all this healthy eating in so many ways, and one of them is giving me fun tools, which he also loves using. And this is a microplane. So do you guys, lime instead of lemon. That's another really great one. Rob, you're always so good, because he's such a chef. He's always asking me, or challenging me, or pointing out that I've done my recipes with the wrong amounts. Hi, Lillian. How are you? It's so nice to see you. So how many people use a microplane?
I do.
Instead of an old-fashioned, I say old-fashioned, that must be my prejudice is showing. But this is so nifty. I find it easy to wash. It doesn't, I find my old grater actually rusts. Maybe the age of it too. But this is so handy, and it really does zip up zest really quickly. And it also helps grate onion, because we're doing that for the lox recipe. So anyway, that's another one of the tools that I love using, and that makes grating just a snap. And so with the Summery one, I add lemon juice, a teaspoon of that. I add
Rob.
Zest.
Yes.
But Rob has a zest for life, so that's probably one of the reasons why he likes zest. And then the other thing that, of course, adds celery, as we've mentioned. Oh, the other thing, do you mind getting the yogurt out?
Sure.
One of the things that I tend to add, I do mix and match. So for the Summery, I add both, I think I do, is that true? Both the light mayonnaise and the yogurt. And I get, you told me how to pronounce this last time. Faye?
Faye. There you go.
Yes.
Or faye.
Faye. Yay for faye. So it's non-fat. It's Greek, so it's luscious and thick. And it's higher in protein and lower in calories than the mayonnaise, at least that I get. I'm sure that if you really, really looked at the back. But the thing that's wonderful is so many of us are really concentrating and trying to, number one, we have to eat less. And number two, we're really concentrating on staying satisfied as long as possible. And yogurt really does that for us because it's so high in protein. And when we integrate it into our recipes, it adds a wonderful flavor and also, enhances the benefit of, from that protein. So when you do the salad and you add this into it, and of course with the lox recipe, we're having a heyday with some protein here, which is really wonderful and tasty.
Yes.
So, I in the Summery recipe, if you guys are following along, I do an 1/8 cup, which is this snazzy thing I have here.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's called a lift spoon.
Yay!
Makes it super easy, and you just get to, serve it up and hang it here so you don't get your countertop all dirty. But so I do an 1/8 cup of the mayonnaise and an 1/8 cup of the
Greek yogurt.
The Greek yogurt.
Cool.
So and then finally with that one, of course I have to have my Dijon mustard, and that's just 2 teaspoons. Garlic salt. I wanted to talk about, and kind of what do we invest in? And for me, one of the things that I've discovered is that we have local spice shops, and I find that there are certain things that I can't get at the grocery store, number one, that I can get at the spice shop. And spices, they may seem expensive in one sense, but for the amount that you're getting and the amount that you use, it's really a small amount to pay.
If you think about the unit price, the amount you pay every time you use it, it's nothing.
Right. Thank you for explaining that in a better way.
Yeah, and the flavor is so much better. It's just amazing.
So we have a wonderful shop in Boulder, and it's called Summery, and I'm sure you guys have similar where you are. And things like the garlic salt are just yum. The way, I think it's the quality of the ingredients, right? And then when we want things to be tasty, that's a really important part of it. So, and then one of the,
the Summery Savory just show, it's so green and so bright and so beautiful in the jar.
And so Summer Savory is something I really love using. It's not that usual, but it's something we're going to be using in the lox and capers recipe. And the other thing, finally, I wanted to mention, and I think we're pretty close to being ready, is have you guys discovered Lighthouse? It's really wonderful.
Because they're freeze dried. They're almost the same as fresh. Mm-hmm. They're really, really fresh.
Not all of us can have fresh. Yeah, good job. Okay, so we got some folks who love the Lighthouse. And there's so many different things that they have. Chives and, I think, they're just garlic. That's one of the things. Ginger. Those are things I use all the time. And sometimes I just am not in the mood to chop it all up. I just don't have it at my home, and it's time to fix dinner or whatever. But I love the dill, so that's what I use.
The dill's incredible. The spring onion, again, like to add on top of a soup or something. It just tastes like fresh.
It's so good.
Green
so anyway, so the Summery egg salad, I think, is one that is easy to do. It's fresh. It's got the lemon in it. It's got the mustard in it. It's got the smoothness of the yogurt with the mayonnaise and then ultimately the touch of, and of course I put pepper in things. Pepper's really good for you. It kind of helps your metabolism, and then dill to really enjoy. Black pepper.
I don't think
sort of like
that.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
So good for you. So anyway, do you think those are close?
We're
gonna start chopping up.
Yep.
So I wanted to show you. This is what our the summer savory looks like with our fresh parsley on top. We're going to serve it up on a plate at the end and show you what that looks like. But as you can see, that's 6 eggs, and that can be for 4 people. It kind of depends on, if you're doing a half cup per person, or if you're doing a light lunch versus dinner, you're going to end up probably serving larger amounts. But the calories and the serving amounts I've included on the recipes to help guide you. Hello, how are you, Carrie? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining. Another thing I love serving up with is cloud bread. How many of you have discovered cloud bread yet?
So remind me what cloud bread is?
So cloud bread is this wonderful, yummy thing that the eggs are ready. Where it's really egg whites fluffed up, and you can put various ingredients. We're going to do cloud bread. Thanks, Rob, for your comments about the bulk spice. That's really a good point. The cloud bread is something you can bake up, ahead of time. These are like this because I put them in the freezer, and then they're wonderful to either serve up your egg salad on or as a bread to serve alongside your egg salad. And one of these is like very little in calories. So you can have a couple of them with your egg salad. It's high in protein again because it's egg white. And sorry for all the noise, but we're cooling the eggs, so hopefully we can do that without as much noise, maybe. So let's get going. I am ready, if you are, to pounce into our lox and you tried it a while back, but you didn't care for it. I think you should try it again, and we're going to be covering it and covering how part of it is what you put in the cloud bread, just like what we're doing with the egg salad. Because in reality, I think it's how you prepare something, and there are really ways to make it on the sweet side, on the savory side, and of course I like it so that on the savory side we can use it with a variety of different meals. And so many of these things, the reason why I like them is that you can make them your own, like with egg salad, you can put curry in it. I mean, you can make it your own ethnic favorite. You can use the spices you like in it because it absorbs it and really complements those flavors nicely. So
are you going to peel this? Am I going to hold the camera down so we can watch you do it?
You're going to.
So
proof's in the pudding, you guys. Here we are. So Walt and I are going to show you. Here we are. These are the ones that we put upside down.
Because the trick for those who joined us late is...
you have to come over here because you're off the camera. See?
The best way to do hard-boiled eggs where the peel comes off easily and cleanly is when you put your water on to boil, turn the carton of eggs upside down. By the time it takes for the water to come to a boil, say 5 or 10 minutes, that's a perfect amount of time. It makes the egg, it peels away.
Do you love this or what? Are you not just so excited? So I have solved your problem. I just want you to give me lots of plus signs because you're going to love this. Did you steal my towel?
Maybe.
I think you did. So
it's actually right there. Let's look at it.
Good.
Am I peeling all those, or did you just look away?
Then the next thing I wanted to say as we launch into the lox, good job, thank you, and capers version, is that we really have a fun story to tell about it because because once upon a time, and still really, but my best friend's mom, years and years ago, as a Christmas gift, sent us every year one of those wonderful smoked salmons, that was in a pouch, and we'd save it. We'd be so excited that we would get it, and we'd save it for New Year's Day. And in our tradition, we would chop up egg finely. We would boil we'd actually separate it out, and we'd have the sieved yolk, and we'd have the chopped up egg white. We'd have finely chopped onion. We'd have capers. We'd have sour cream, and we'd have those wonderful breads.
The Pepperidge Farm, the thin...
Cocktail, I think they call it cocktail bread, they're the little square loaves.
Squares, right.
And so we would do that. Of course, we'd eat too much, and it was not the healthiest version of all this. And of course, we'd have the lox, so we'd build all this deliciousness and eat it. So as we cleaned up our act, we also, though, want to be able to enjoy the flavors and the memories of this. And that's when I decided to experiment with coming up with this lox and caper egg salad, because it is something that the kids always smile when we serve this up. In fact, our boys, we have 3 kiddos, and our boys were home last weekend, and guess what I did but create the lox and capers egg salad, and that's what we had on a Saturday for lunch.
And it was great.
It was so fun, and we all had that memory. So if we follow along with the recipe, that again is at blog.livligahome.com, or you can get to it as well from our livligahome.com website, because we have our Live Vibrant blog as one of our tabs that you can click on and get to directly, because we like to make things easy. So when you go for it, one of the things we want to talk about is how you actually cut up the egg. So now we've told you how to make it easy to peel the egg, but how many of you guys have an egg slicer?
For years, we had one from my grandfather's kitchen that I inherited like 30 years ago and used it probably for the last 27
what
years.
was it made out of?
It was aluminum. No,
it was aluminum. And the problem was, you guys, that it would actually stain the egg.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, I don't know why we kept on to that thing for so long, but he splurged and gave this to me, I think, for his stocking presents one year. And I love it because, yes, you can chop up your egg, but this makes it so that it's sort of like creating little mini, like slivers that are all uniform, so it makes it easier. So I actually do it both directions. So, you can put the egg this way, and so that's what I do. So it makes it really super easy. So if you can see how it looks, and then I just top it out. And then you can see that 12 minutes, I don't know if you can see how really pretty yellow the yolk is.
It's perfectly done.
And that makes a really pretty salad to not overcook it. Because I don't know if you guys, but in the olden days, I used to do 15 minutes. And it would just be awful because we would end up with these gray looking eggs. And it just wasn't as pretty a salad. So we're going to do 6 of these. I'm going to let Walter chop this up just a tad bit more. Do you mind helping me out here in my corner?
And just a little more finely is what you're saying?
Yeah, just really so that it's kind of,
more
in thirds or whatever. Yeah. And so we're going to do 6 of these, and we're going to put him in our bowl once he's got chopped up for me. So we multitasking per usual. So we do make a good team. I don't know if I've shared with you guys that Walt and I will be married 36 years, May 15th. Is that crazy and wild?
3 weeks.
We've been cooking in the kitchen since we were, was it
12 or 13 probably?
I think 13 years of age.
So 49 years ago.
Oh my God. Okay, so we now have told you exactly how old we are.
I'm going in this.
Okay, yes, please do.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we're still chopping up our egg. And we're, I'm one of those, I much prefer getting everything out all at once so that we can, assemble the recipe pretty easily. So we're getting the eggs all chopped up. And then this is an ounce of lox. And we actually have, how many of you have a
scale
in your kitchen? I can't operate without a scale in my kitchen, so.
And honestly, as we've gotten more and more mindful of what we're eating and the amounts we're eating, it's wonderful. And so,
hi Pam.
For example, to do an ounce of lox, I'll put the scale out, put a clean plate on it, and then
so you can get it so that it's
and then you tear it, so you bring it to 0 with that, and then anything you add to it is 0, but you've got it on the plate. You aren't messing up the scale, so the scale stays clean. And yet you easily measure exactly what you need.
And then when I found my lox, I've discovered, and this is King Super, so this is like Kroger, so I don't know about you guys, but I will on occasion go to the fancy, paycheck places to buy stuff, but just looking for the good ingredients that are available in your grocery store and that are affordable. And this is lox that's actually the trim pieces. I love it. It's so much more economical.
So it's like bits and pieces from the larger.
I don't know if you can see this, but it says.
And it's called right there. Yeah.
And so I just wanted to point that out because some people might say, well, this recipe, it's a little too pricey for me. Well, number one, if it's for a party, this is actually a really cheap way because you just add an ounce of it for 6 people, and you really end up with not 6 people, 4 people. You end up adding a whole lot of flavor, a whole lot of kind of celebratoriness because it's kind of a special ingredient with really very little price. So, so this is an ounce of that's chopped up.
So that was an 8-ounce package, and that's 1 ounce.
And then the other trick is this is kind of one of the traditions when you're doing smoked salmon, the way I was describing with all the wonderful ingredients, is you actually grate your onion. Does anybody ever grate their onion? Usually we'll finely chop or whatever, but this really makes it completely infused. It's a yummy thing. And again,
we did that again with the microplate, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna start adding this. So you know what I need is an actual spoon. So we'll get my nice favorite wooden spoon here. So we got the ounce of that, and then the tablespoon of sweet onion. And you didn't measure this, right?
No.
Yeah.
But
so how many of you have these because you got them from us at various conferences? This is our little Livliga tablespoon, teaspoon. So we're checking to see how many we have. So maybe next time, the first 10 people or something that respond will get.
Really pretty much.
Yeah, that is. It really is. So we've got a tablespoon of the onion, and then the next thing I wanted to is the capers. How many of you use capers when you're cooking? We love this. Like chicken piccata is a really classic recipe that uses capers, but they're the kind of the buds of the
nasturtium flower. Right, exactly.
And they've got a kind of a wonderful sort of pickled flavor to them.
And they're healthy for you.
They're
right.
very healthy for you.
And they have great flavor.
And I use, an olive thing because they're so juicy. That's kind of how I get the juice out of them when I'm using them. And then, there we go. So we need a tablespoon. I think that's what I said here. I'm trying to follow my recipe so I don't confuse myself and everyone else. Yeah, plus 2 teaspoons. So we like capers a lot. So for us, doing the tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons just makes it the right flavor for us. You still have one of those measuring spoons? Thanks, Rob.
I still do not.
It?
No, I still do not have
well, we're
Rob,
just going to have to somehow solve that problem.
Right.
We are. So I've just done the tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of the capers. We're now going to do the non-fat Greek yogurt, and we're just doing that and not doing the mayonnaise. You can split it up if you decide you don't want to just do this, but for us this is sort of like the sour cream flavor that is so classic for that experience of the smoked salmon for us. So we're going to do 2 of these because this is an 1/8 cup, and we're just going to do 2 of those for our 1/4 cup, and do another one of that with our wonderful Faye. I don't know what it is about that name, but it's going to be one of those things where
it's that G. You don't expect the G to be
us
Y.
and Livliga, people, you know what I'm saying? So it causes a lot of conversation. What can I say?
Meg McAllister's watching.
Hey, Meg.
Oh, Meg, thanks for watching. You're so nice.
Hi.
So then the Dijon, which is so important. So we're going to do a teaspoon of that. And sometimes I cheat and do a little more because the calories really, it's not a...
And frequently I lick the spoon afterwards because I love the taste
We're not
of
going to do
Dijon.
that tonight, are we, honey? No.
I guess
So,
not.
yes, no. So, and then my garlic salt that I love so much, we're going to do, I think it's a 1/4 cup of that. Yep, or 1/4 cup. Oh, Rob, I did it again. 1/4 teaspoon, please. And then we're going to do an 1/8 of the pepper. And again, if you want more, and you can also grind it fresh. I don't have a great grinder. This is something my husband's going to have to work on for me. We tend to do the store-bought.
And it's hard to grind and measure. You sort of grind
you have
and
to grind and too much for me. So anyway, so we've got that, and then the summer savory is a 1/2 teaspoon. And I noticed, of course, as I always do with these, that the teaspoon is missing out of that, so I'll go back in and correct that for everybody. Oopsie. So this is the summer savory, and I hope you guys discover this if you don't already use it. But it's a bright herb, and it's great.
Give me just a touch.
Okay.
Thanks.
He's gonna taste it for you. Tell you how delicious it is. Okay, so
It has a wonderful aroma.
that's what I love about herbs, you guys, because it's like the whole sensation, right? Especially when they're fresh and you can rub them and smell them, and you put them in, and you're tantalizing your nose and your mouth.
I had a French teacher years ago who said in French cooking, when you use dry herbs, you always put it in your hand first and rub it together, and the heat of your hand and the oil actually brings it all out.
That's true.
And then you sprinkle it in.
So true.
So that was Marie-Anne Moore years ago.
Oh, isn't that great? So I'm just stirring it up here, kind of making a mess a bit with it, because I'm trying to hurry, of course. And then, you know, the key here is not only is it fun and pretty, I don't know if you guys can see the bits of lox and all the goodness in there, and the capers, but it looks really fun. You know, you kind of want to
Rob, what a
check it
great
out.
idea.
What did he say?
Rob has a pepper grinder that has a compartment at the bottom, so you grind, and
Rob,
then you
you're
can
so
measure.
far ahead of me.
I know.
I swear, he's just so good. So
You have
good.
to let us know what that is. I want to know about this.
Okay,
I like
so we do cheat in the kitchen. How many of you do? So,
no, you have to taste. It's important to taste.
well, it's pretty critical because sometimes, you know, there is magic in cooking. Do you guys agree with this? That the same person can take the same recipe and it can taste completely different.
But yours always tastes great.
Well, because I make it over and over again.
That's
So,
right.
Rob, I've had it for years, but I can find. Oh, would you let us know? I mean, if you really do. No, I'll have to do some research now on what Amazon, since that's my
Pepper
source
roll.
for everything.
That's right.
But okay, are you guys ready? Cynthia is here too, our daughter. She'll be featured probably next month because of the cooking we're going to be doing. But she's here, ready to taste test and let us know.
So you're doing an official taste.
And she's a lover of lox. So this is one of our family traditions she loves. So what do we think, guys? Is it good?
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, so here I am tasting too. Oh, I just love
Great.
it. And you'll
Good
notice
job.
I do a little bit of garlic salt, but it's one of those things where when you've got the lox in there, it has a lot of salt in it. They're really, and the capers are a little salty. So you don't really need to add additional salt. You could even just do garlic powder without being garlic salt. But this to me is just the perfect amount of saltiness.
It's great. It's perfect.
It's just a little bit of salt that I add.
So how are we going to serve that up?
We're going to serve it up. And ones we thought we'd be fun and sort of do a lunch version. And then we'll do a kind of a dinner version. And then
I'm going to take this from you for a second.
Okay. So I love bib lettuce. I still buy, you know, whole.
Technically Boston.
Okay, sorry. Technically Boston. So, and I love the leaves of it, and I think it makes salad look really pretty on it. So when you serve up, did you say you liked it? Wow, that is very good. It is definitely a hit. Thank you, Cynthia. So we're going to put a couple of leaves on. We're going to get our trusty
Half cup.
And I'm going to serve up the Summery egg salad.
Are you doing tomato or not?
On this one, I thought I'm going to do a slice, a quarter.
Perfect.
And
Look how nice that is.
oh, it's so pretty. And then I'm going to put, well, let's see. I really want to put some. Oh, I know where it is. We have to put our parsley. It's just so fun to use this. You know, this is hot out of our garden. So we're going to put a little
Or
that.
cold out of the garden. It's still snowing out there.
And then we're going to do one of these and a little slice of this. Where
Knife is right there.
Okay.
It's nice and
So
clean.
this has already been, my tomato has already been washed. And that's the thing. You don't have to do anything that's too hard, but it is also nice to be able to quickly rinse and get them ready. And, you know, tomatoes get better and better with the summer. You know, I try every year to get some good tomatoes, and I think the only way in Colorado to do it is to grow your own. And there are, you know, we do a variety of different ones.
But the heirloom tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're so good.
You guys use heirloom tomatoes too.
Hey, Dana. Thank you.
So I've cut up my cloud bread so we can enjoy a little bit of cloud bread. And this to me is a luscious, delectable.
Look at that. That looks wonderful.
Doesn't that look beautiful? And you know, visualness, part of what Livliga has taught us is that things have to look beautiful too, because when we eat them and they're beautiful, they're actually more satisfying. And this is actually going to be somebody's dinner tonight because, of course, what we cook, we eat.
Yes, we do.
So there's that. Now, for dinner, you know,
So, Rob, you need to check out the cloud bread again because it really is good.
Yeah, and
maybe
we'll be
recipe, I
doing
don't
some
know.
recipes that'll, I think, get you more excited about cloud bread. And I just love things that you can prepare ahead of time. You know, you can individually make available by wrapping them up and freezing them, you know, and then have them quickly handy because that's kind of how we operate in our family. So with dinner, I would tend to use maybe a whole
Tomato.
And I like quartering them because I think it's a pretty look. So that's what I'm doing right now. And cutting it up. And by the way, do you guys have good knives? So fortunately, because I'm so passionate about food and cooking up good food, and I love the environment of having my friends around and talking and enjoying, and my family, obviously. My family realizes how much fun it is to discover new things to give us. And so our middle son, Andrew, gave us these Shun knives. He gave us this knife. I mean, it is an investment. So this is not, this is because we are devoted to cooking that he did this. Oh my God, having a good knife makes all the difference in the world.
It holds an edge. You can easily sharpen it yourself. I mean, I just use a steel to sharpen them. They're beautiful. I mean, they really are like a piece of art with the hand hammered and the beautiful handles.
What?
But very sharp.
So be careful.
Yeah, they're very sharp. You do have to be careful. But that's what makes cutting up tomatoes. Tomatoes to me is like the true test of a good knife.
And that just absolutely goes through the skin like
it's
nothing.
just because otherwise it's so hard.
You guys are just kind of swinging them around. So
Oh, you're saying be careful because your mom is doing her normal thing. Oh, thank you. So, all right, we're gonna get for dinner. I might do 3/4 cup of what we're serving up. It just kind of depends on what you've had for lunch and whether you want this to be a heartier meal or.
Hi, Gracie. Thanks.
And then I would tend to put a couple of capers just to make it look pretty on the top. And then I don't have it here, but the other thing you can do is, do some toasted English muffins. I find that really good because you can kind of make a sandwich of it if you want to do it that way or have it separate. Or again, you can serve up a couple of slices of the cloud bread or crackers. I mean,
and for those of us who grew up in Kansas City, Wolferman's English muffins, that just sort of takes us back.
Yeah, and you can still get them.
Right.
But also Kashi makes good crackers. I mean, it depends. Sometimes I want the crunch of a cracker, or sometimes I want the kind of yumminess of a English muffin, and kind of the air in the holes, and maybe a little butter.
Yeah, right.
Just saying if it's part of the plan. And then you have your wonderful lox with the tomato, and you have a beautiful dinner to serve up. And it's great for brunches with friends. You can even create a couple of different egg salads, and you can make it so that many of ours. I mean, people have to be able to tolerate dairy with the things that I've done tonight, but there's so many ways that you can actually substitute. And even egg salad, if for some reason, either by preference or because of an allergy, you can actually bake tofu and make it, cut it up into kind of egg salad size, and be able to make that the choice versus the actual egg in terms of making a salad similar to an egg salad. Again, there's so many ways that you can have fun and be experimental, and part of what we're wanting to do here is be able to show that all of us can have some fun in the kitchen. We can have fun in the kitchen together. That, kind of one element like we did last time was waffles, and how many different ways we can do waffles. That we can do it savory, we can do it a little sort of classic and sweet. That there are many ways. I mean, people even do waffle sandwiches now. So if we have a passion, there is a way to fit it into our lives in a way that's healthy, versatile. It doesn't have to be the same way each time, and can also be easy because all of us are busy, or we're tired, or we just plumb want to be outside when the weather's wonderful and enjoy. And
living a lively, vibrant life.
Yeah. So we thank you for your patience again in our second ever
and I was going to
Facebook
say,
Live.
For those of you who came in late, I'd say start at the beginning because Sheila shares the greatest trick ever for peeling hard-boiled eggs. But actually start at about minute 8. Because the first 7.5 minutes or so, the camera is upside down. We're having all sorts of major problems.
Yeah, well, I think
we will learn.
Started it all over again. So, I think so. Anyway, we hope we did. So we're learning, and we'll try and do this actually ahead of time next time.
We thought we had.
We were trying to do it so that this wasn't backwards, but maybe we'll just give in because it's too
we're
much
the
fun this way.
Backwards couple, It's like, hey, here we are.
Oh, well, just our names.
Yeah,
if anybody can tell us how to pronounce our names this way.
Elise.
So anyway, it's been awful fun. Thank you guys for joining us.
We really
Thank you
appreciate
for joining
it.
in
Love
on
your
our
comments.
conversation. It's so much fun this way. And do try out the recipes and let us know. And know that we'll be back again in a month's time. And
So fourth Tuesday of the month,
yes, so
5:30 Mountain Standard Time.
yeah,
It is,
so
daylight
that'll
hours.
be May 22nd. And right now I'm going to keep it a surprise what the topic is going to be.
I don't know either. I'm
But
just
it
saying.
is already planned out. I just
Yeah,
don't remember.
she knows.
Sorry.
Okay.
But we are kind of getting into summertime and picnics and things, and we hope you'll join us again for a lot more fun in the kitchen with Sheila and Walt, serving up healthy recipes up on Livliga. So have a great evening. Thanks for joining us, and please share so that hopefully we can continue to grow and share this healthy lifestyle with everybody. So take care and see
Thanks,
you again
guys.
next month.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.